Hello everyone, I'm Kenneth Tam. Today we are going to make the classic Cantonese premium soy sauce chow mein. Chow mein is super easy to cook, but if you are really serious about your food and wants to elevate your dish to the authentic industrial level, you might want to learn the tricks in this video. First of all, you'll need the right type of noodles. This is the thin egg noodles. Its Chinese name literally translated as the silver thread egg noodles. Now we are aiming for its firm, springy texture. Don't get the thick one, which is a lot starchier. I've seen a lot of Cantonese chow mein in the US using thick noodles. Well, it's absolutely fine that you make your own version of this classic dish. But as a Cantonese myself, seeing the US style chow mein is like an Italian seeing a pineapple pizza. You know what I mean. Anyway, these thin egg noodles can be easily found in most Asian stores. Try to get a fresh one. If you can only get the dried one, the preparation process will be a little bit different. But no worry, I'll cover that later. Let's look at the other ingredients. Traditionally, this dish is completely vegetarian. But if you deliberately want to add some meat to it, I'll give you some tips on how to make a twist while still maintaining its essence. Make sure you watch till the end. We need half an onion, a sprig of scallion, and a bunch of Chinese garlic chives. Now they are really common in most Asian groceries. They are said to have garlic flavor, but actually their spiciness is quite different from garlic. It's also rather strong. If you don't like them, here is an alternative: the yellow garlic chives. You might think I'm joking, but I'm not. The yellow and the normal chives are literally the same thing, but the yellow chives are grown under shades with very little or sometimes even without sunlight. They taste like a combination of garlic and onion, but it's a lot milder. They also have a refreshing floral fragrance. They are quite delicate and they require great care, so this makes their price nearly twice as expensive as the normal chives. You can also use bean sprout instead of garlic chives, but make sure you are getting the monk bean sprout rather than the soybean sprout. Cut the scallion to about 2-inch long, which is about 5 centimeters, then trim the tips. Cut the garlic chives into similar length as the scallion. Then julienne the onion. One of the golden rules of Cantonese stir-fried is that the shape of all ingredients should match each other. That's why we need to cut the onion into stripes rather than into chunks to match the shape of the noodles. Attention! Here is the first chef's secret. Soak the greens in water. This allows them to replenish the moisture that has been dried out during the logistic process, and they will taste better. And after 30 minutes, take them out and pat dry. Leave them aside. Bring some water to a boil, then put your noodle in. Here is the second chef's secret. After you have added your noodles, turn your heat off immediately. Do not boil them. Vigorous boiling will render the starch out of the noodles and they will all stick together. Loosen up the noodles with a pair of chopsticks or tongs. Take the noodles out after 30 seconds. Alternatively, you can steam your fresh noodles for about 1 to 2 minutes. If you are using dried noodles, you will have to boil them for 1 to 1.5 minutes until they have loosened up. The next step is crucial to get your noodles to the right al dente texture, and it's also a secret technique that very few talks about on YouTube. Now you have to completely cool your noodle down before stir-frying them. Here I'm fanning the noodle with a lid, but believe it or not, professional restaurants usually use electric fans to do the job. And do not rinse them in cold water, you don't want to get your noodle wet again. Let's move on to the sauce. The sauce has two functions: to set the taste and to set the colors. The component of the sauce is similar to the universal sauce that I have mentioned in other videos. But as we are aiming for a darker brown color, we have to increase the amount of dark soy sauce and decrease that of the light soy sauce. Here I add 1.5 tablespoons of dark soy sauce, half a tablespoon of light soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, vegan oyster sauce if you are vegetarian, and half a tablespoon of sugar. Now we have everything prepared. Let's move to the cooking process. Stir frying is a very quick cooking process, and make sure you have everything by your side. Heat your wok to high heat. Add oil generously and reduce the heat to low. Knowing how to control the fire is very important in Chinese cooking. Put your noodle in and let it sit for about 30 seconds. This step is to evaporate the excess moisture and to condense the egg's natural flavor within the noodles. Do not pan fry the noodles for any longer. It will develop a crispy texture that we are not aiming for in this dish. So, after about 30 seconds, loosen the noodle up a bit with chopsticks and move them aside in the wok or pan. It's better to use chopstick or tongs to stir fry noodles. They are more effective in mixing noodles with other ingredients. Turn your heat to medium-high. Add in the onion and scallion and generally stir frying them for about 10 seconds. Add in your garlic chives and continue stir frying them for a few seconds. Then turn your heat to high and mix your noodle and the veggies together. After about 10 seconds, we are going to add the sauce. Pay attention again. This is the last chef's secret and is very important. While most recipes online ask you to add the sauce directly into the noodles, we are pouring the sauce on the side of the wok and let the sauce slide into the noodles. The high heat of the wok helps evaporate excess liquid, condensing the umami flavor of the sauce. Furthermore, the sauce will be slightly burnt and will develop a charred flavor that adds layering and complexity to the taste, which we call it as wok hei. After you add in your sauce, continue stirring and mixing until everything is well combined. Then your dish is done and you can do the plating. The whole cooking process should not exceed 3 minutes. And it's optional, but you can also add some toasted sesame seeds for extra flavor. Let's do a summary. To get a pass level of cooking soy sauce chow mein at the industrial standard, your dish should meet the following criteria. For the appearance, all the ingredients should have similar shape. So, if you are adding meat to your chow mein, make sure you also julienne your meat to long stripes. You can gently marinate your meat with the chow mein sauce and stir-fry them first before mixing them with the noodles. Also, it should look dry and not greasy, even though you are generous with the oil. For the color, it should be dark enough. You must use dark soy sauce for this dish. And finally, for the taste, your dish should have developed a charred flavor, and it should have complexity, not just a bland taste of soy sauce. Alright, after all of these, enjoy your industrial standard chow mein. Comment below if you have any questions. I'll try to answer everyone if possible. If you are serious eaters and want to learn more about authentic Chinese cooking techniques and secrets, subscribe my channel. Also check my other videos for fresh and rarely seen Chinese recipes. I'll be uploading regularly. See you next time!